today is the last day of review packet number 3. It's more Regents questions, but they are much easier than yesterday's Regents questions. These are all different application questions. So a couple things to remember. Remember, y and f of x really mean the same thing. If you think back to our y equals mx plus b equation, m was always our slope, but when it comes to real life problems, that always represents like profit from one item or charge of cost for 1 month. They use per a lot. It's something that happens multiple times. So I'm going to put here multiple times. Whereas B is our startup cost, our installation fee. This ends up being a one-time thing. For charts to represent linear functions, there needs to be the same difference in the x values and the y values. And when they're exponential functions, the y values will be multiples. So if we look at number 35, a company that manufactures radios first pays a startup cost and then spends a certain amount of money to manufacture each radio. If the cost of the manufacturing R radios is given by the function C of R equals 5.25R plus 125, then the value of 5.25 best represents. So pay attention. 5.25 is with the R, so essentially it's our M value or our slope. So would that be our startup cost? No, because remember our B is our startup cost. The profit earned from the sale of one radio, the amount spent to manufacture each radio, or the average number of radios manufactured. Well, let's go back and see what they were talking about. They spend a certain amount of money to manufacture each radio. So they're not talking about the profit of a radio, and they're not talking about the number of radios manufactured. They're talking about an amount of money spent to manufacture each radio. So it's choice number 3. So with these ones, there's not really a lot of work to be done. It's mostly just reading the problem and understanding what they're asking. Number 37, the cost of airing a commercial on television is modeled by the function C of n equals 110n plus 900, where n is the number of times the commercial is aired. Based on this model, which statement is true? So we got to read all of our multiple choice. The commercial costs $0 to produce and $110 per airing up to 900. The commercial cost $110 to produce and $900 each time it is aired. The commercial costs $900 to produce and $110 each time it is aired. Or the commercial costs $1,010 to produce and can air an unlimited number of times. So if we look back, it says where n is the number of times the commercial is aired. That is being multiplied by the 110. So number 1 doesn't make any sense because it talks about up to a certain amount of money. So that one we can get rid of. They're saying it cost 110 and then 900 each time it's aired. But n is the number of times it's aired, and that's multiplied by 110. This says the commercial costs 900 to produce and 110 each time it's aired. So it seems like number 3 would make sense. Number 4, it's saying they're just paying a certain amount of money to produce it and can be aired unlimited number of times, but that's not what it says up here. So number 37 is also choice 3. Number 39, it says the owner of a small computer repair business has one employee who is paid an hourly rate of $22. The owner estimates his weekly profit using the function P of x equals 8,600 minus 22x. In this function, x represents the number of, well, we know the 22 is representing how much that person earns hourly, their hourly rate. So computers repaired each week, hours worked each week, customers served per week, or days worked per week. The only thing they talk about is the hourly rate of that employee. So it has to be choice 2, which is hours worked per week. Number 41, a cell phone company charges $60 a month for up to 1 gigabyte of data. The cost of additional data is 5 cents per megabyte. If D represents the number of additional megabytes used and C represents the total charges at the end of the month, which linear equation can be used to determine the user's monthly bill? These are pretty easy ones if you guys stop and think for a minute and go outside of math, because when you think about math, you get confused. But they're charging you $60 a month. So if we're just looking at 1 month's bill, how many times should we pay the $60? Just one time. So 60 should not be being multiplied by anything because we're only paying it one time. And here they combined it and 60 is being multiplied, so it can't be that one. Are they taking money off of our bill for every time we go over in our data, or adding money to our bill every time we go over in data? Well, they're certainly not going to take money off of your bill, so it has to be choice 4. 43 they like to try and trick you with, because they talk about cookies and then boxes. So it says, Kendall bought X boxes of cookies to bring to a party. Each box contains 12 cookies. She decides to keep 2 boxes for herself. She brings 60 cookies to the party. Which equation can be used to find the number of boxes X that Kendall bought? So this is saying 2 times X. Well, 2 boxes times X boxes minus 12 equals 60. That doesn't really seem to make sense to me. 12X, that would be 12 for the number of cookies times the number of boxes minus 2 boxes equals 60 cookies. Can we do subtract boxes from cookies? No, we got to subtract cookies from cookies. Well, if we do 12 times the number of boxes that we bought minus 24, where did 24 come from? Oh, there's 12 cookies in each box, and she kept 2 boxes for herself. Well, 12 times 2 would be 24, so that's the number of cookies that she kept. This would be the total number of cookies that she bought, minus the 24 that she kept would be the 60 that she brings to a party. So it has to be choice 3. Number 45, it says, which table of values represents a linear relationship? If you go back to the first page we started today, it says, for charts to be a linear function, there needs to be the same difference in the x values and the y values. So if I look, up 1, up 1, up 1, up 1. And if you notice, all of my x values are going up 1. So all of them have the same x values each time. So we got to look at our y values. This went up 1. This one went -2 to 1, went up 3. This went up 5. Are my y values going up by the same? Nope, so it can't be choice 1. This one went up 1/2. This one went up 1. This one up 2. Nope, can't be choice 2. See what you guys can see on there. Okay. This one goes up by 2. This goes up by 2, up by 2, up by 2. Look at that. So choice 3 looks like it should be the answer. Let's double check number 4. That one went up by 1. That went up by 1. Uh-oh. That went up by 7. Okay, so no, it can't be choice 4. So it has to be choice 3. One more problem for today. It says the table below shows the average yearly balance in a savings account where interest is compounded annually. No money is deposited or withdrawn after the initial amount is deposited. Which type of function best models the given data? So is it linear with a negative rate of change, linear with a positive rate of change, exponential function, exponential decay function, or exponential growth function? Well, let's look at what's happening to our y values each time. Our y values are going up every time. So it's definitely not a negative rate of change or a decay because our values are going up. If you look back at the first page, in order to be linear, these have to be the same. So let's look at the difference. Get out my calculator. 562.49 minus 380. So this one changed by 182.49. 832.63 minus 562.49. This one changed by 270.14. So I don't even need to keep going anymore because I know it's not linear because they're not changing by the same, so it is an exponential growth function. It is your job to do 34 through 46 even. These should be much easier than last night's. And then this packet will be done. Tomorrow you can check your answers for the whole packet and take your quiz.